Yo, what's poppin'? It's Tommathan. We have day two of the L playoffs, and we had some doozies. We had the winner bracket. We saw the top teams play. Some shocking twists, I must say. But anyway, Hangzhou Spark, Dallas Fuel starting off 3-1 for Dallas. You get a 2-1 on Lijiang for Dallas, a 4-3 on Paraiso for Spark, 3-1 on Dorado for Dallas, and a 1-0 on Esperanza, which doesn't even have a little logo thing. They got nothing there for that. It's pretty sad. I like Esperanza. It's very pretty. Um, so yeah, it was pretty much a roll on Esperanza actually. They just completed the map. Like they just straight up completed the map. It was just a roll. So what happened here? Well, you see, we get same stuff as you expect from yesterday. Same guys over here, and then you have Edison, Sparkle, Fearless, Fielder, and Chio from Dallas. No Doha, surprisingly. You get Sparkle on the Reaper. You'd like Edison on the Reaper, but you need someone to play the Sojourn, and God knows you're not putting in Gurio. So that's just how that goes. But here's the thing. Shai's the GOAT. Alpha E did pretty well as well. Everyone on Spark played well individually. But Dallas, the macro mechanics, the game sense, the hive mind, it rings true. You could make an argument for every single player on Spark outperforming their counterpart, except for Super Rich. I think Chio pretty solidly outperformed him because Chio's just probably the best Lucio in the game right now. So that's just going to happen. But you can make a solid argument that Terror outperformed Fielder, Gooshway outperformed Fearless, Alpha E Sparkle, and Shy Edison. But when it all comes together, it's Dallas on top all day. And as the maps went on, you can see that in the score lines kind of reflect this. It went more and more Dallas heavy every time, and they shut down Shy. That's the biggest thing. As they went going, you see Shy. He was kind of slow on Li Zhang, but then he woke up, and they almost ended up taking it back. And then Paraiso, Shy's putting on an absolute clinic. You get to Dorado rather. He doesn't have as many angles to cook. It's more known of a map that it's very difficult for a hit scan to just raw carry on the offense specifically, which is why you only see the one. So no surprises there. And then on Esperanza, it was just all Dallas. They as soon as they hit this Route 6 or this Dorado, sorry, I don't know why I get those two maps confused. I've done it even on my video where I looked at the shock, I got them confused. I don't know why. I've no idea. But basically, Dallas shut down Shy entirely. Mostly Fearless. There were a lot of times he'd pop a Primal. Fearless immediately goes on to the overclock on Shy. Said that the wrong way around, but you know what I mean. Like Shy would pop up. Fearless goes, oh, I'm going to go int on that guy. Takes him out of the fight. And it's just worth it because Shy is the guy here. Now, Spark did a really good job. They had some great macro plays on Paraiso. There were great times where they were able to set up their Reaper, like sneak him around, little weird angles. Taylor was doing a great job, and how he continued to play on a very more flank heavy style compared to a lot of these other Kirikos that we're seeing. Do I hear my cat? I don't know where he's at. But anyway, yeah, pretty much that's a big thing. You shut down Shy, you win the game. Dallas macro looks great. Dallas look really good. It's either them or Seoul that look the best. And going on to Seoul, we have a 3-0 against the Mayhem, and the Mayhem were pretty scary going into this. There's a reason no one picked them because they look pretty damn good. They're push and pull against Atlanta, immaculate. So you get a 2-1 on Ilios, a 2-1 on Eichenwald, and a 3-2 on Junkertown. Now, full disclosure, I didn't actually get to see much of this match. I watched it a little bit on the side because I had a scrim, so I was in that. But on the one thing to note, Soul are pretty damn good. There were some weird comps going on Junkertown. There was some Roadhog action. There was some Sigma action, but it all returned to the monkey in the end. And Soul looked damn dangerous. Now, no surprises on the composition there either. You have Smurf, Iris, Vindame, Fitz, Prophet. Prophet is the one playing the Reaper as you expect. There were some rumblings of him playing Kiriko. Just not going to happen. He's not going to play Kiriko. Don't be foolish. So, just standard stuff. And I'm not going to go too much on this one because I can't really. Oh, player of the match for this one, I give it to Fearless, by the way. I think Fearless did a great job shutting down Shy. So, and then I don't really have a player of the match here. One other thing to note from what I saw, Hydron was hitting more like carry fights, but Fitz was just performing very consistently. So even though Hydron had more carry moments, I'd say they went about even. Or even better for Fitz. Then we have this match. Houston 3-2 against Shock. The game of the night. The first 5-mapper in the playoffs, and you have Dante Winston against Kaluge Winston. And here's the thing: we got to have a talk. We need to have a conversation. Mikey played map one. Mikey played map one, and then it was Kaluge the whole way through. Why in the hell are you playing Mikey at all? Why? Was he getting any scrim time? If he was, you've massively trolled your entire team, Krusty. Like, even if he was, they looked much better with Collusion, like significantly. Uh I don't know. I just don't have words. So it was a 2-0 for Houston on Ilios, 5-4 Shock on Kings Row, 3-0 Houston on Root, 1-0 Shock on Esperanza. I don't remember what the actual scoreline was. I think it was fairly close, actually, like 80s, mid 80s for both of them, 120 to 80 or something like that for Shock, and then a 2-1 on Busan for Houston. So Ilios, you have Mikey in. He's on the Winston. Just awful. He got diffed by Dante. It didn't look good. Proper's playing the Sojourn. Striker's playing the Reaper. Other note, Finn, Kiriko, Violet on the Lucio. No surprises there. And then you go over to Kings Row. Kaluge comes in. They immediately look extremely better. They turn it around very close, going both ways. You have Merit and Proper, very interesting styles here, because Merit felt a bit more consistent, but Proper had some pop-off moments. I don't know. It's a pretty big matchup, but I give the edge to Merit most of the time. Kaluge definitely played better than, well, not definitely, but Kaluge and Dante have both had their moments. But the big surprise for me is the Shock backline just didn't impress me at all. Violet, there were multiple fights where he just has beat. The Kiriko ults are going, everything's going crazy. He just doesn't use it. He just looks at Kaluge, gets his binoculars out, takes a good long look at him like he's the fucking duck in the pond, and just didn't beat. And Kaluge just dies. And there was a time where that happened in overtime on Route 66. You would get Route 66, which is a 3-0. Shock. They're looking to push on their offense. Just no beat comes out. There's a couple times where Finn has some really questionable Kiriko ults, just bad direction. Good time to use it, but it's just not in the correct like orientation, so they can't actually push with it. And I was pretty surprised there. Now he was diffing creative for like the entire time in ult charge basically, and Violet was diffing Lastro a lot of the time in Lucio ult charge as well. That's what Violet's known for. But the ultimate usage, and they're so important. The ults are so important in this meta with the Kiriko ult and the beat. You can't mess them up. You just can't. And they did. They just did. And there were no seemingly like crazy ones from Creative and Lastro. They just had better ultimate play overall. Busan had a little bit of weird stuff going. You did have the Orisa come out. You had some Hog coming out. Shock, super troll. This was a super close series, this final one. And they come out, and they're on Kiriko Baptiste with the Winston comp at one point. And it makes no sense. And yeah, Houston were playing the Orisa thing, and they get good percentage off of it. But it's like, this eventually they go to the monkey comp, and Shock just stay on it, and they don't have the speed boost. They try to go under on mecha base. It just doesn't work because you don't have speed boost to go under. They wasted their Kiriko ult trying to get out. I don't know. It was weird. Also, there was a Baptiste going on over here. There was some weird composition, some funky stuff going on. Shock didn't adapt to whatever was going on. Just not running a Lucio when the enemy team is. It's just a death sentence. You need the speed boost to get out of the chokes, especially on mecha base. And there are some questionable coaching decisions from Krusty here. Just rough in general. Other than that, there was some good adaptations there as well, where you'd get a tracer on the side of Houston, so Shock would decide, we're on the Reaper, we can just run into Dante. It doesn't matter that he's on horse, because the longer we let Tracer cook, the more damage she does. So they did a great job looking at that kind of stuff, things like that on Sanctuary. But that last mecha base, staying on the cat, shut up. He has a Tide Pod. Where did he get a Tide Pod? Just rough. I don't know. Shock look not great. They're playing in Shanghai. If Shock or Shanghai go home tomorrow, and I'm not sure who I'm going to pred. I'll maybe make a little pred thing at the end. But anyway, now sit down. You're going to want to sit down for this one. London Spitfire 3-1 on the LA Gladiators. Straight up. So Lijiang 2-1 Glads, then a 3-2 on Ike for London, 3-2 on Dorado for London, and a 1-0 on Colosseo. And London just hard won Colosseo. Just domination. Full cap that. Just boom. Done. And London looked pretty damn good, but Glads do not look great. So here's the thing. Lijiang, we get standard comp for London, or for Glads. No, not standard comp. Standard players though. So you get Kevster. I can't tell you who plays the Reaper actually because they go back and forth all the time just for fun. Kevster was playing the Reaper at the beginning here, but he was also just on Junkrat for Control Center, which didn't work. On Control Center, they rolled out with like a Rhine, Junkrat, Baptiste, Sojourn, Lucio, and it just never did anything. Reiner built Shatter like 100% in. They did cap a little bit because Kevster was doing a lot of work on the Junkrat actually. A lot of damage, not a lot of work. A lot of damage, hit some good rip tires, stuff like that. But in terms of the compositions, you can't run on anything. What are you running on? Winston, Kiriko, any of that stuff? No, you can't run on a Kiriko. She'll TP away. The composition doesn't have any like merits right now. And then the first comp they roll out on Gardens, Doomfist, straight up Doomfist. It works. They get to 99 off it. Good for them. But they eventually have to go swap over to the Winston comp. And it was like Doomfist Tracer, and it works, I guess. But I feel like London just weren't sure what was going on there. And they ended up winning that Winston comp as well. And then the other one was just a straight up mirror, and Glads did win it. But then here's the thing: overall, for the Gladiators, it just basically mirrors the whole way through here. Maybe there's some weird stuff I can't remember. There was some Tracer on Dorado from Kevster. Because here's the thing: because Kevster was playing with Sojourn on Eichenwald. Then he was on the Tracer and the Reaper on Dorado. And then he went back to the Sojourn on Coliseum. So they're flip flopping the Reaper and the Sojourn between Kevster and Happy. They're flip flopping it in scrims, and they don't know what the hell's going on. Reiner loading out on the Doomfist and the Rhine makes no sense because he's a Winston player. Hottie looked good though. And then Shu was genuinely getting gapped on the Kiriko. And Funny Astro was not having the impact he needed. Like, Funny Astro was basically not there. Like, I didn't feel any impact from Daniel Hathaway. It's a goated name, kind of. Anyway. But, I don't know. And the Gladiators, it feels like they were trying to get too fancy a lot of times. You get on Dorado, they lose the first point immediately. They over-rotate into the London backline. Kevster dies, no one can touch point, and they just give it up. Then they only have one fight on B. And it's just like, you can't win like that. You can't win like that. Happy has brought his Washington Justice ways of just only getting one fight on multiple objectives. Like, I don't get it. They're trying to be too fancy. You get a lot of sloppy plays where London was spawn camping them for a while and they were getting picked off one by one, multiple seconds in a row. You only get one team fight for like 2 minutes. I don't know. They're trying to get too fancy. They sometimes they did look good. There were some really good rotations, very concise, very clear what they wanted to do. You catch someone out, you keep going, you push, and it looked like the gladiators that you're supposed to see. But they never were able to actually build on that. They never were able to show that like they are the LA Gladiators. This was a very disappointing performance, and London just looked better. I'd say there were some highs from the Gladiators, which made them look better at times, but London had that consistent game. They just knew what they wanted to do in the mirror. They weren't messing around with any funky other stuff. They knew who was playing what characters. It was crazy. And the objective misplays continued on Coliseum. There was a time where London already had basically almost a checkpoint, not quite, and Glads only had like 20. And so what happens? Glads are pushing it into the London zone. London are starting to win the fight, but then we get someone, I don't know who it was. They end up stealing the bot halfway down. So Glads lose the fight, don't kill anyone, and London get to push the bot early. And they just cap the objective for free. There would have been another fight there. They just don't have to. And they're fully stocked. And it was like they just forgot what good Overwatch looks like and why they were so good in the first place. I'm starting to wonder if Kevster being so good is what elevated this team because there's not a lot of skill expression on the Reaper, and he's not really a Sojourn player. Like, while he has like a really good Widow, and we know he has the hit scan, compared to these guys who've been grinding it all season, he's not Sparker. Like, he's just not Sparker. I think it doesn't make any sense unless you really need Kevster to be that guy for your team to be good, which maybe that's true. Maybe he's been so good, so consistently that we've taken him for granted, and the Gladiators aren't a superstar team like we thought they were. That's like the vibe I'm at right now. Because that was like an astoundingly like upsetting performance from them. I'm disgruntled. I am disgruntled. I am distraught. That was not good gameplay from the Gladiators. God bless. I did not pick them to take it all because I was close to. I was very close to. But Hangzhou Spark rings true. We'll see how they do against Toronto tomorrow. Should be a free win. I don't know. This was rough. Let me know your thoughts. Give me what your takes on the Florida Soul game because I didn't get to see a lot of it. So I would enjoy if any of you would like to like give me your rundown on this. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you really liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a good one. Deuces.